Beep bop boop 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 boo. Hey everybody, welcome to Marvel Movie News. Today we're talking about a little thing called Spider-Man. There's a movie called Spider-Man Homecoming, and we saw the trailer. We saw 2 trailers, and Coy died, but he's back. So anyway, stay right back, and we'll be right back in there.
Welcome to Popcorn Talk, featuring movie discussion, news, and interviews. Popcorn Talk. We talk movies. And now, here's Popcorn
Sounded
Talk.
like a stereotypical.
Yeah, you just made sounds
make-
like
Yeah.
alluded to them being words.
Just right there.
These are laser sounds from the 70s,
Like
and
a
we're gonna
South Park
say
character.
yes.
Oh man, that was not intentional. That was
Make
just.
sounds with
Here we
your
go.
mouth.
That was the Texan in me coming out for just a half second. I was like, never get from Texas.
That was you taking the note of bringing the energy up.
There it is. Yeah, we've all had a week.
I'm fine.
Well, I'm happy for you.
You guys are the ones with the week. Anyway, we're the Marvel Movie News. This is episode 112. Which I believe is the first appearance of Baron Mordo. I don't know if that matters, but...
But why?
Now that Doctor Strange has been introduced, every episode has to reference Doctor Strange somehow. Like,
when we get to episode 126, it'll be like, Dormammu and Clea. Yeah.
How is that different from what we were doing before?
that's true.
Yeah.
That's true.
True enough. We're coming to you live from Midtown High. Is that okay? Is it?
Oh, of
Midtown
course.
High
I could love to be in
Yeah, I
Midtown
like
High.
that.
Yeah, is that good? All right.
Yeah.
On our show, we tell you all the news from all those studios and why you should be as excited as we are. Subscribe to us on iTunes at Marvel Movie News, or find us at youtube.com/Popcorn Talk Network. You can also find us through their website, popcorntalknetwork.com. Follow us on Twitter at Marvel News PTN or at the Popcorn Talk, or on Facebook.com/Marvel News Show. And guys, if you'll tweet a link out to our show telling people about the live chat, Doom will retweet you from his booth.
Doom is back
Latveria.
from Latveria. I had to go quash an insurgents
No, you know, that's
last week.
Yep, that happens, man. That happens.
But thank you to those of you who reached out. All right. We got to pick up the energy in this room. I was just gonna
make
roll.
sounds that are like words.
I was just gonna roll this thing that some
this
people are
little thing?
talking
Oh,
about,
this little
and
thing?
then we'll talk about it later on in the show. But I thought,
Oh, this is good because Matt Cook hasn't seen this yet,
right.
I don't know who this character is.
Who's part spider, part
This
man?
is a dance?
Let's do it.
Let's watch this cool thing.
Yeah.
So excited.
Hype. Oh my god.
Guys, wait a minute. You guys aren't the real Avengers. I can tell Hulk gives it away.
Now, did you guys see my tweet about Ultimate Spider-Man 42?
No.
What?
That first shot is literally a frame-by-frame grab of Ultimate Spider-Man 42, where they have those characters
Oh,
dressed, robbing a bank.
Batman's in there, right?
Awesome.
Yes, except Batman's in there. He has swap him out. Swap out a little
I also
Batman.
love that that's the first time we see him, and
Yeah.
he's just in the background.
Yeah.
Like,
Casual like.
God, I
Yeah.
love it.
Also, someone sent me
this.
a screen grab. That might be Gwen Stacy. Like, dressed. That girl's dressed exactly like 2
No.
appearances
No,
of Gwen
she's-
Stacy. The
she's-
blonde girl
she's
with
dressed
the-
This
like
is the
it?
best.
What, loser?
Yeah.
He's just that hand. He's so good.
Yeah, just a little hand. Like,
Trials
what?
or an interview?
Just don't do anything I would do. And definitely don't do anything I wouldn't do. There's a little gray area in there, and that's where you operate.
I want someone to make a Venn
Now-
diagram of that.
The
We actually
black
have a
eye
meme
in
of
this
that
scene.
later.
The black eye in the scene is very telling of the fact that this takes place immediately following Civil War.
Yeah.
I know school sucks.
No, I don't think that was Gwen Stacy.
Where'd that
I hope it
video
was Gwen
come from?
Stacy.
The
No, it was
music
Liz
choice
Also-
here gets me
Oh, you meant
so
behind.
excited.
Yeah. MGMT is a good choice.
I like that he's in history class. I like the Death Star.
No, I'm not.
We're gonna talk.
I'm not.
The Spider-Man.
The
I think
Spider-Man.
it's very cool too.
Yeah, we're gonna break all this down towards the main
I know, I'm
section
just
of the
too
episode.
excited.
The
But like,
speed of the crawl.
get excited.
Let me be
Dude.
happy, Doom.
Yeah, Vulture.
Look at those ruffles.
Forget
Yeah, the feathers
The
are
perfect
up.
ruffles.
The boots. Always the boots for me.
You've been treating me like a kid all the time.
And the shirt.
are a kid.
The
Pepper pot
infamous
shirt.
Pepper pot.
Still not sure about the Genki Leeds, but we'll get there later in the show.
What is going on with you? I'm really sorry. I'm so busy.
That quick childish Gambino moment.
Don't mess with me, because I will kill you and everybody you love.
You love.
Oh no, the ferry's going
The
down.
ferry!
No, he's saving it.
That Statue of Liberty
Oh, it's so good.
is so good. That's when I was home. I went, oh, come on!
Yeah.
It is.
Yeah, that one got
Yeah,
me
we all
too.
we all watched it at Screen Junkies because they had us on like to do like an immediate reaction. Like
Yeah.
the trailer played, and 30 minutes later we were on Screen Junkies talking about it.
It
We
took
were all
us
watching it together.
41 minutes to like break down
Yeah.
that trailer.
Because it's so much, it's so
There's
dense.
there's so much
Still
going on in that
Yeah.
trailer. Yeah.
My girlfriend came home when I was watching it like the second time, and she said that I made a sound she had never heard me make.
I think my favorite part of watching the trailer this time was actually getting to watch you guys,
Dude,
watch it. Because
it's
like you were
everything.
both just like
Yeah, I
like
forget
little
to
kids at
breathe
Christmas.
sometimes.
Like it was the best. I loved it. Like
it's
Yeah.
so much.
like
it's
it must
so
be
much
like
happy.
what I looked like when I was watching the Doctor Strange trailer, just like
I feel like this is the most I felt like they did it right. I
Yeah.
always felt like Andrew Garfield was a great Spider-Man, but I didn't always feel the first Peter Parker. I felt like Tobey Maguire was was a good Peter Parker. Didn't always
Absolutely.
identify with the Spider. Tom Holland is Peter Parker and Spider-Man.
Yeah.
he's great.
I
He's
get
great.
upset when I have friends that are like, that looks good. I'm like, yeah, you think I gave my life to crap? Like, that's what it's supposed to look like. That's what I've been talking about.
That's what it
You
should have been the
jerks.
whole time.
That's what it should have been.
Yeah.
All right, we're gonna get to that later in the show.
Yes.
Okay. First, let's talk very quickly about some of these other news bits that came up. These newsy bits.
News.
Deadpool.
Oh,
First up-
news.
yeah, no, news.
Oh, I
It
forgot,
won
right.
Critics' Choice Award for Best Comedy.
Sorry,
Yep.
did we introduce each other? Like,
Oh, yeah,
give
let's
that
do it.
thing?
Show etiquette.
What too
Yeah, I'm
excited?
Matt Key at the Matt Key. We've got Coy Jandro at CoyJandreau.
Sure.
We've got Markia McCarty at MARKIMCCARTY.
Yes.
Yes. And then we've got Matt Cook, Ultimate Spider-Man fan, original host of the show.
Well, not yeah. I mean, I enjoy Ultimate Spider-Man,
no,
but
I mean like
am.
you
I'm
Ultimate.
a very yeah.
I meant Ultimate.
I didn't want you to just classify me as solely an Ultimate Spider-Man.
No.
right, right.
Ultimate
I am.
as in
You gotta be
extreme.
careful with those.
Yes,
I meant-
yes.
I meant-
All new, all
I was-
different.
the adjective was.
I
for
understand
you,
what you were doing.
not
I'm
for
trying to
Spider-Man.
clarify for the fans.
Sure,
I don't
no,
want
I
to be put
appreciate-
into
I
a little.
appreciate that. Sure,
Do you remember the
sure.
Ultimate Spider-Man show?
Yeah.
That was on. So I thought the comic when it first came out was an adaptation of that show, and I held in issue 1 and put it back down, and I've regretted that for the last 15 years of my
Whoa.
life.
Oh, no.
Wow.
Fun fact. I literally was like, oh, I don't need this. It's an adaptation of the
Yeah.
show. Cut to that being the only issue in the entire run I'm missing because I need a good quality
Whoa.
one. So it's just haunted me. Just fun
I'm
fact.
sorry,
Fun
bud.
fact,
Sorry,
audience.
yeah.
Haunted me.
Anyway, we've got Colt Badeau tweeting from the Starjammer as usual, and we got Doom in the booth. All right, quick news. Deadpool, Critics' Choice Award for Best Comedy. It's also nominated for Golden Globes.
Golden Globes. Now, those are
Like
that's
that-
a
more than
serious
one.
award, you guys. The Hollywood
like-
Foreign Press was like, "Hey, Ryan Reynolds and the Deadpool team, we notice you and love you. It was worth
Yeah.
a decade. Thank you, guys."
Yeah, it's
Yeah.
pretty major.
That's
Yeah.
insane.
Especially for superhero movie.
An R-rated
For that
superhero movie
superhero
that is
movie.
like
Mm-hmm.
it was made for like Reynolds said, the catering budget of most superhero movies. That movie's got a Golden Globe nominations.
Yeah.
That's great.
What?
Yeah, and
That's-
it's Deadpool. Like,
And it's Deadpool.
Deadpool.
Like an award is no one notices superhero movies.
He's breaking.
No one.
wow, you
We're
got
losing
Deadpool
him.
and
It's
Spider-Man.
happening.
You're-
Here's my question for you guys.
There
do
it
you,
goes.
do you think that Ryan Reynolds shows up to the awards in the Deadpool costume?
I wouldn't put it past him to accept the award as Deadpool.
I would love.
That would be cool.
Did you see that thing I tweeted where he thanked everyone, like, and it was practically written as Deadpool, like all the screeners that went out, like it's just. And he also thanked, like, his speech was so full of love, and he thanked 2 kids that passed away that he visited through the Make-A-Wish. He dedicated the award to Make-A-Wish. Like, it's incredible how much wit, sarcasm, and heart he has, which is
Yeah.
why I love Deadpool and Ryan Reynolds, because they're one and the
Yeah.
same. So the fact that this movie is getting so much note because of the heart that went into it, and, like, it's beautiful. Thank you, Hollywood Foreign Press.
Yeah. So anyway,
Love-
but
I love it.
that's that's awesome. Like
That's
it's,
cool.
I
that's
never thought it
great.
happened. Even watching the movie, I was like, "Oh, this was made for me. I'm the little tiny audience." Because I saw it like the moment I could, and then like
Yeah.
by the end of that day, it had broken all the records. By Friday, more records. Now it's the like highest R-rated like profit margin of all time.
Yeah.
And
Yeah.
awards consideration.
Yeah.
Society,
It's-
you did it.
It's
Yeah.
a new age.
But it's
It
the same
is.
thing.
It's a new age.
Do it right.
Yeah.
right.
Studios, do it
Yeah.
right.
People
There's
notice.
a reason.
Do it
There's
right
a reason
and-
the
and
characters
we'll
have been
show up.
around for decades. Do it right.
People will see it multiple times. You'll get multiple sets of ticket money
Yep.
if you make it good the first time.
What's funny
Yeah.
is that Fox probably will not learn their own lesson. Like Fox will not learn from what they did. Like
Well, it sounds
they'll be
like-
like, we did it right. Oh, everyone likes R-rated comedies. Let's do everything as an R-rated
Right.
comedy
No,
now.
that's
And
not
it's
what
like, no,
that
no, no, no,
means.
no, no, no.
It sounds like that's why
It's like
Tim Miller
you're
left.
Yeah.
Did you read that
It's like
quote?
you're focusing on the
I've
wrong
got all
thing.
the quotes here.
Oh well, there we go.
Yeah, the good segue, sir.
There's
Yes.
that tangent.
Tim Miller spoke out for the first time on a show called CG Garage. I won't read the full quotes because they're kind of long, but and
good,
we want to get they're great.
Mm-hmm.
They're really great. So let's see. He says, I just want to say one thing to the geek audience out there because it's important to me that what the geeks and nerds of the world think because they're my brothers and sisters. Already, that's a great
Yeah.
He's like, I'm one of you. Like, let me we're all fans. Like,
I'm
we're
making
friends.
Sonic.
Yeah. So, I didn't want to make some of those stylized movies that was 3 times the budget. If you read the internet, who cares really? But for those of you who do, I wanted to make the same kind of movie that we made before because I think that's the right move for the characters, so don't believe what you read on the internet. He went on to say, I wanted to do the same thing as the first movie. Kyle Chandler was not going to be Cable. All this stuff that I read kind of kills me. Which everyone was saying, Kyle Chandler.
Yeah, it's really interesting.
Then-
He came out and just said no.
Yeah,
I
yeah.
haven't seen that bold of a directive a statement like what you read was wrong. Like
Yeah.
it's very interesting that he's like, no, it's they're trying to make creative choices I disagree with, and that's a very bold statement to make in
Yeah.
the studio system as a new director.
Yeah. He said, movie was really hard to make, or even when some people go, the movie was really hard to make, the movie was a joy to make. I think you see it on screen. We had such a good time. We had few arguments in post, but nothing more than usual. The crew was so great. Everybody was going to come back, and we were going to have such a good time. And the idea that it was a difficult movie, it wasn't. It was a joy, and it was the best experience of my life. And then he went on to say, I wish them nothing but good, and I hope it's great. I love the character.
Oh man.
So...
But a rough breakup, like that.
yeah,
just
really
that just
rough,
like
really rough.
I wanted him back. I'm still a little worried, but I'm not as worried because it's a John Wick director. I think it's incredible.
Yeah, John Wick is such a fun movie.
But
They
man,
just
that's such a
weren't
bummer.
supposed to be together.
Yeah, it's one. You know, sometimes it's not the right person as good as the relationship is.
Yeah.
Just wasn't meant to be.
So anyway, it's in good hands. We'll
It's
see.
a great statement.
Yeah.
It is.
I appreciate
and
that.
like I never saw Kyle Chandler as Cable.
I personally didn't either.
I was-
love him.
Yeah, same.
But I
I
didn't
think he's a
see
good
it.
actor.
Right.
I just didn't. I don't see him as Cable. So
Yeah.
like hearing him say he was never going to do that, and hearing the rumors that Ryan Reynolds,
How about as Cyclops?
he could be a good
He'd be a
Cyclops. Yeah.
great
Interesting.
Cyclops.
He'd
be a better
Older,
Cyclops.
like,
Yeah,
but
yeah,
like,
yeah.
See that.
you know what I
Did
mean?
you see
Like
Manchester by the
astonishing
Sea?
Cyclops.
He's
No, I haven't
great
seen it.
Manchester
Is he
by
in
the
it?
Sea. He's incredible.
And what?
He's in
Manchester by the Sea. Kyle
gotta
Chandler's
see
Oh,
it.
he's
incredible.
in that. I didn't know he was in that.
I gotta see it.
Haven't seen that yet.
All right, let's move over to Defenders real quick, where we saw Charlie Cox and Kristen Ritter, Matt Murdock and Jessica Jones, for those of you who are like, who are those actors? We saw our first pictures of them on set. They're like, Matt Murdock is wearing a suit. Jessica Jones is in her
Infinity Scarf.
infinity scarf and leather jacket. So
me-
she's in
messenger
costume
bag.
They're
also.
traditional outfits.
Yes. yes.
I mean,
yeah.
I don't think this is real. I think it's Photoshop. He's not even making eye contact.
You know how important that is.
Perfect.
So yeah, we see them filming. We don't see anything spectacular, and it seems like all of the shots are between takes. Like it's
Yeah.
not them actually
This,
on camera. or
this
anything.
sequence looks like a
Like a
like
weird
their
rom-com.
sitcom opening.
Yeah, like,
Yeah,
it's like, remember that time? Like that's very
Blind
man,
guy
but
and
seeing them
tiger.
together
He
makes me
can't
so
see,
happy.
she can't forget. Let's see what trouble they find.
But yeah, it's just like, I don't know. I included it because I thought it was cool just to see the two of them together and be like,
Yeah.
oh, things to come.
It made me really
It's like
happy.
this
with that.
exists.
They
and
were
you
the
can look
first.
forward to
They were the
this.
first 2 Netflix heroes. Like
Yeah.
seeing them together is exciting.
Yeah,
Yeah.
I agree.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's like a cover of an annual when you see like one of your favorite characters in the corner and you're like, that's gonna be exciting.
Yeah.
Like this is that in 3D.
Just that I mean, it's similar to the first time that in the first Avengers when Iron Man, Cap, and Thor, when they're in that, and they just like boom, and they're on screen together. It's
Yeah.
just like
Yeah.
it's exciting.
Yeah, like that shot of like the Avengers when you like get that first Avengers film, Joss Whedon like
The pan around with everybody, yeah. But I mean,
Oh,
even in
right,
that,
right.
even in the when Thor takes Loki out of the Quinjet, and
Yeah.
then they're fighting, it's just the 3 of them, and it's like,
Yeah.
this is
Even
where
better.
it begins.
All right, let's talk. Still talking Netflix universe. Sigourney Weaver talked about her Defenders role a little bit. The quote is basically the 4 heroes come up against this really nice woman who I'm playing.
Italics for really.
Yeah, really nice woman. She said, "To me, they're not superheroes. They're people with a gift. It's just a different scale, and I'm really enjoying the scale of it. The apocalyptic thing is a little harder for me to understand." Which I actually don't understand that last part. Like, is she saying that there's an apocalyptic thing going on in Defenders?
I think she's saying in this. I mean, I took it as cinematic universe.
Yeah, I took
like
it as
in
like
the big world and superhero like Flash. Like I think she likes that this is more grounded.
Yeah.
That's my take.
Maybe
on
so.
it.
Maybe so. Yeah.
Also, just an
Or she's
acting
a-
standpoint, just how it's like I
Yeah.
focus on this, not on the this for my character.
Yeah. Or she might be a demonic character that we know and love, and that's why she's saying the apocalyptic thing
Right.
is too hard for me to understand.
Yeah, that's true. The scope of Defenders, we have no idea. Like, we don't know where it's going to go, which is
Yeah, but
exciting.
apparently there's a lot of laughing.
I mean,
according
or
to
at
those
least
pictures
between
we saw.
takes, there could be just darkness, and he's
Yeah.
just like, oh, the
Yeah.
walls.
My two favorites for her role are still Mephisto and Fin Fang Foom.
I still
Fang
support both
Foom.
those choices.
I
Oh my
say
God.
Mephisto out of those two because
Nah, give me
I
that
think
boom.
I think Sigourney would be a great dragon.
Yeah.
I'm all
Yeah.
about it.
she would. Well, she'd be a great anything.
I honestly-
she just have to be the voice.
So long, no, I want it like Scooby Doo, where it's like mocap, but like
Oh,
she's
wow.
weirdly like '90s animated, like
Yeah.
Fin Fang Foom, just trolling through. I
love it.
I'd
Yeah,
watch that.
she looks like she's Fin Fang Foom from like that 70s Spider-Man cartoon.
Yes,
Yeah.
that's what I want.
Yeah. I think that a good role for her would be like the CEO of IGH, the people who made
That'd be
Nuke,
perfect.
and like all these other like souped up like almost like mutant growth hormone kind of thing. Like
Right.
I feel like that's more
Her speed.
probably it makes sense. Like
Yeah.
and that's why she sees them as people with a gift. Like she's like those are people with a gift. I can exploit
Right,
that. You
right.
know?
That
So
would
either
work
that
very
or
well.
she's like the beast of the hand, which is also amazing.
So would that make her sort of like the mother to the Defenders
What?
in a way? Like, because IGH is like so.
Maybe,
Other than
yeah.
Iron Fist, is like she's like responsible for.
partially responsible
Yeah.
for Jessica Jones,
She's
maybe.
the
and-
deadbeat
Luke
mom.
Cage.
Charles Lee says a very interesting idea that is Morgan Le Fay, and I would love that. Lady Doom, effectively. Doom in the booth would appreciate it.
Betsy in the chat room. Defender starts with, "Hello, I'm Sigourney Weaver," like in Finding Dory.
Yes.
Yes,
Love
that would be amazing.
I want her to play herself.
Disney
as,
owns both.
yeah.
Disney owns Pixar and Marvel. She could be
She
Sigourney
could do it.
Weaver in
She could
Finding
do
Dory.
it. All right, let's move on to New Mutants real quick because I know you guys just want to talk your Spider-Man, and
Yeah,
there's
come
a
on.
lot to say. New Mutants. So early last week, they were like, there was a rumor created by Den of Geek that they were going to start filming a new X-Men film later in 2017. Then Josh Boone, the director for New Mutants, like retweeted that saying, "Yeah, it's my movie," basically. So New Mutants starts filming. Let's see if they say May of next year.
Yeah.
So
Cool.
we
It makes
we'll
sense
start seeing, like,
timeline-wise.
casting.
Yeah.
We'll start seeing casting announcements soon, like Cannibal, Wolfsbane,
Yeah,
you know,
like,
Magic,
we've
all
been,
that
we've been
stuff. Yeah.
following this one the most closely because it seemed the one that should shoot first.
Yeah.
It seems the one that they're like, moving forward with. I'm just wondering if it's going to be, if they're fading out the traditional X-Men universe and like slowly soft rebooting it with these side
I
characters.
think they are.
Because
I
X-Force,
really think they
Deadpool,
are.
New Mutants, like I
Because-
Yeah.
think.
Apocalypse didn't do as well as they wanted.
Right.
It didn't get the fan traction that
And it was
as much
already
as they
soft
wanted.
reboot, so they can't
Yeah.
soft reboot again without introducing some other characters.
Yeah. Again, what Fox should do is just team up with Marvel.
Yes.
Fox, come on.
I love Cannonball.
Sam
I
Guthrie.
think that's a cool power.
Yeah.
I always really
yeah.
like that.
I like his personality.
Yeah, me too.
I want to see that personality
Yeah,
on the screen.
I've always liked the way he was written too. Like you could hear like the accent.
Yeah.
And
I also
and
like the
dialogue.
family
Yeah.
You could
aspect of the
almost
Guthries.
taste the grits
Yeah.
and
Yeah.
butter.
Like the Uncanny X-Men, when they had that, like, it was like 2 years where they really focused on the Guthries in like the late 2000s. I thought that was a great run because Husk
Yeah.
is great, he's great, and they're
Yeah.
both very like. Both characters have a lot of depth
Yeah.
when they're
Heart.
allowed to. So I'd really think they can go some cool places.
So here's the question: what of the 4 release dates that have no titles connected to them? There's March 2nd of 2018,
Deadpool.
June 29th of 2018,
X-Force
November 2nd of 2018, and
Deadpool
February 14th of 2019.
and Deadpool 5.
Okay, so do you
So
need
What
just
happened to
like
3?
Deadpool.
What's that?
That's X-Force.
X-Force is 3.
So
yeah.
which
That's my theorizing.
which one of those 4 dates is New Mutants taking? My guess is March 2nd, 2018. Or
I don't
June-
care.
June
We don't
29th
know.
of 2018.
Yeah.
Next.
Let's talk about
Just want to talk about Spider-Man.
We don't know. We're gonna
Okay.
see it.
March 2018 did open up because whichever I think it was the Flash was supposed to go
Oh
there.
yeah, now
and
they don't
DC
have
right.
pushed
Rick
that back.
Fumigawa there. Yeah.
Yeah.
You know what's funny? I just, in that moment, I was like, wow, that's so far away. And I was like, no, that's like, it's 2017 in 3 weeks.
Yeah.
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 Like, literally, this is the first time I've realized that this whole year.
Yeah.
So if the camera was on me in that moment, that was me realizing it was December 2016 for the first time.
All right, let's move on to Logan. No. Logan, first of all, we want to acknowledge that Hugh Jackman took a pay cut in order to guarantee the rated R, which...
hey, way to take one for the team,
Huge jacked man, you are a gentleman and a scholar and
Yes.
always have seemed such. Thank you
Yes,
for all
and
you do.
Love to see you sing, love to see you be Wolverine, so thank you.
Yeah, we'd love to see you being the singing, dancing Wolverine.
I still want that. Remember that when we came up with that musical?
Yes.
Someone's like, what if they do a TV show? And she was like, oh, like Glee. And I was like, a musical X-Men show?
Oh my God.
But it'd be the only actual excuse to have everyone know the lyrics because you gotta have Xavier like telepromptering everyone. So everyone breaking the
Everybody would
song
know.
would be canon.
Professor X is a giant
There you go.
musical fan.
Yep.
Yeah, no, I get
Yes.
it.
And you can have Chamber do Psionic, like, oh man, bring it.
Yeah,
It would
Dazzler
work
on
so
lights.
well.
Professor X in his song.
Yeah, exactly. Dazzler on lights. There's so much.
All right.
Professor X
Also,
is a
we
little
have.
ascot and a little cigarette holder. You're flat. You're flat.
Oh,
Not my
goodness.
tempo.
Also, we have our first look at actor Richard E. Grant as Xander Rice, the father of X-23.
That shot. So here's what's so cool about this shot.
Tell me.
Nothing. Next.
Matt Cook's 20-minute Marvel movie news, and then he's like, Spider-Man.
No, it looks great.
It's, moving on. Very well.
We don't know anything. Let's go. Fake news, non-news.
We would like to acknowledge our sponsor today, Sherry's Berries.
Yes.
We had them. We got to try the berries last week. We're sorry we don't have any more berries left for you guys to
yeah,
try.
but you know,
I'm only here for the berries.
I was promised Sherry's berries.
it was great. We had Marisha here.
Yeah, Marisha and Taliesin
Marisha.
from Critical Role
Yeah,
were
and
here.
she was just eating the berries.
They got berries.
Well,
She's
it's like
she's
berries.
They're chocolate covered
They're
strawberries
huge.
delivered by mail.
They're like this big.
Well,
It's
you should have
awesome.
been here, Koi.
I was dying. I was
sorry.
actively on death's door.
But Christmas is in a couple weeks. There's not a lot of time left to shop.
As
And
I
if you-
just realized.
It's the 13th.
But you can choose a gift from Sherry's Berries' incredible collection of gifts and go ahead and skip the crowds and hassle altogether. The freshly dipped strawberries from Sherry's Berries, starting at just $20, $19.99.
Per berry?
No.
Great Scott.
I think there's like 12 in a box, right?
Yeah,
and
give-
they're
watch
really
it.
good. They're gigantic
Seriously,
berries, like
this
massive
big.
berries.
This big.
And that's over a 30% savings, or double the berries for just $10 more. All you need is our code Marvel.
Love berries.
Share-
Yes.
I'm gonna do that.
Yeah, that sounds good.
I know, right?
Yeah, they're actually really good. They're really, really good.
I mean, we wouldn't know.
Yeah, just
Yeah.
visit
Take your word for it. I guess.
just visit berries.com, berries.com/Marvel, and you for $30 you get 2 boxes.
Just berries.com.
Yep,
They own berries.com. They're doing very well.
Yeah,
I gotta say,
great.
I have done. I've ordered Sherry's Berries in the past, and
Yeah.
if you're, Doom approves of the romantic move of Sherry's Berries.
Yes.
go.
They look gorgeous too.
Doom-antic, yeah.
Like with the little chocolate.
Yeah, oh,
drizzle and stuff.
they're very
Oh.
pretty berries.
For that Mary
Yeah.
Jane in your life.
And then quick note, if you are going to be mailing or sending stuff to people, try to get it done between the 13th and the 14th, because after that it might not make it to them.
Yeah.
I don't know how Sherry's Berries does, but I mean like my past experience.
Yeah, like
with
13th
mailing
being
things.
today, 14th being tomorrow.
I've done in the
Yeah.
past, like they do have expedited shipping, but you,
You'll pay
heed
for it.
Marquia's words.
Yeah, no,
Yeah.
I had to find out the hard way.
Yeah. So anyway, they on their homepage they've got a microphone in the top right corner. Click on that. Type in Marvel, and you're good. So there's that. All right, let's move on. Bear with us for one more second.
Some sort of
Matt's
sense is
cook.
tingling.
I don't know. I just
feel
have
like,
to check
yeah,
my roll.
there's some sort of sense I feel it's tingling.
Doom, talk to us as quickly as you can about Agents of S.H.I.E.L.D. or Matt Cook may die.
Okay. Last week's Agents of S.H.I.E.L.D.
Sometimes
was
Spider-Man
the
teams
winter
up with S.H.I.E.L.D.
the winter season finale was it definitely was a crazy show. It wasn't like the best episode. There was a lot less action than I would have wanted from Ghost Rider, but it was a great emotional send off for him.
It was.
And
It was a good episode.
They basically set up 2 options for spin-offs within 10 minutes.
They really
Because they sent Ghost Rider down to hell to be like kept there. I see you guys. Checking your watch. And then Coulson dropped the fact that, oh yeah, he's dealt with a Ghost Rider coming back before. So they just basically implied a 90s Johnny Blaze, like a 90s Johnny Blaze Coulson potential show, and I want it, Marvel.
Yeah.
And then we got the setup for the next set of Agents of S.H.I.E.L.D., the next half of the season, LMD, which is going to be the next...
Life model decoys.
Yeah, which I've been teasing throughout the season. So we're going to get that for starting January 10th. But before that...
I need an interest model decoy.
Before that, tonight, we're getting the Agents of S.H.I.E.L.D. spin-off web series Slingshot, which is going to feature Yo-Yo Rodriguez in a 6-part miniseries.
Is that tonight?
It airs some point today. It'll drop, and then you can tune in to the AfterBuzz TV Agents of S.H.I.E.L.D. after show, where we're going to be reviewing it tonight at 10:15 p.m. So check us out there, and that ends Doom's Agents of S.H.I.E.L.D.
All right, that's awesome. Congrats. Doom, you got through that so fast. That's great.
There's Spiderman to talk about.
Yeah.
Peter Spiderman.
Because
all
we
right.
were saying, like, last week, you went pretty in-depth.
I wasn't here to interrupt last week.
Well, no, he wasn't here last week either because
He
he,
did a video.
had another job.
There was no one to
so
interrupt.
he
Like a
did
20-minute segment.
It was
a 30-minute video on Agents of
It was
S.H.I.E.L.D.
2 minutes. It was 2 minutes.
It was like
funny.
4 or 5 minutes of Agents of S.H.I.E.L.D.
2.5 minutes.
I
It was
promised
beautiful.
to bust on you for
It
that,
was
so that's
so
what this
funny.
is.
But it was great. You did good work. We're just having fun with you, dude.
You know who else is
Yeah.
funny?
It was fun.
Spider-Man.
Peter Parker. All right.
But we
we've
enjoyed the
come to that
10-minute
time in the
Agents
show
of
where it's
S.H.I.E.L.D.
time to sign off. Thanks for joining us, everybody.
Yeah. So,
That was really-
there's no other
Spider-Man
news.
fans.
Spider-Man.
On the roof!
Spider-Man fans, take it away. The show is now in your hands.
So, Spider-Man
Oh, they're hugging.
is
They're
the
hugging
hero
For
we
those-
because they're so
deserve
happy.
and the one we need right now.
For those of you who don't see the show, but are
There
only
were
listening
hugs.
to it,
Yeah.
There was a Ben Reilly Spider-Man
Cook and
hug.
Coy just hugged.
Now,
Cook
Cook
Coy.
used to do this show, and then I came on as a guest, and I met Cook, and instantly we knew Spider Bros. Now, we're at the point in the show where Tom Holland is Spider-Man.
Yeah.
And that trailer was a mix between Ditko's Amazing Spider-Man, Bendis' Ultimate Spider-Man, and like a little like animated series flavor. It was like a greatest hits album for the band you've loved your whole life, but with new songs that are just as good as their classics.
It's so exciting.
Wow, that's
It's-
a really good way to put it.
It literally was the sum. That trailer was the summation of both Marvel's strengths, Spider-Man's strengths, Sony's like ability to let the trust of Marvel go through. It introduced
That's huge.
right.
Like that's a
That's
big
massive.
deal,
Not
and
even
it's
just
so
for Marvel,
easy to
in
forget.
studio system.
But just in like the actual like studio world, like the fact that they let that happen,
Yeah.
Is
it's such a
insane.
big deal, and it shows a self-awareness that I think we've seen to be rare in these sort of things.
Yep.
And the fact that Robert Downey Jr. is all over the trailer,
Right.
Yeah.
is a way to be like, no, it's
Trust
it's
us,
part
this
of
is a
this.
thing, yeah.
I don't know. I think, and I kind of hope that's about as much of Iron Man.
I'd like that to be the lion's share of his stuff.
Yeah.
I don't want it
Yeah.
to be too much.
And I
Tony
love
Stark.
him.
Yeah,
Because it's,
yeah.
because
But
it's
I-
Spider-Man.
yeah.
Right.
Yeah.
Yeah. Anyway,
And
sorry.
I think it will be. I think it will
Yeah.
be that. Where that's a lot of his scenes, that's a lot of his stuff. I liked the Bruce Banner moment. Do we have a shot of that? The Bruce Banner Easter egg I thought
Yeah.
was brilliant. That's the kind of world building I think they need to focus
Wait,
on.
where?
Is the fact that in the classroom they had all the great minds, and then the last photo was Bruce Banner. It's like,
No.
it's
Is that what
like,
that is?
Yeah, dude.
Yeah,
Like,
you
Wait,
didn't
I
see
don't
that?
need-
Yeah.
I need to see
Literally,
that.
there's a
He's
classroom
flipping
moment.
through it.
I saw it
That's
later.
awesome.
Because
I just thought it was a history
when
class.
when they're in science class, right? No, that's science class because they've
I
got
thought it was science.
I know, but I
burns
saw.
and
That's what I
stuff in
assumed.
front
Then I
of
saw all
them.
the portraits. I was like,
Yeah,
oh,
yeah,
it's
that's a
presidents, and then I was
scientist.
too excited.
And
That's
one of
awesome.
them is Bruce Banner, which I think is a great subtle
That's
world building.
incredible.
Yeah.
That's the
No,
kind,
they're-
and that's in a trailer.
Yeah,
That's the
they're
kind of
definitely in
Easter egg.
lab.
It's incredible. So the fact that it's doing that kind of world building, having Tony Stark in there, you can mention incidents that have occurred. You can keep the budget small. It's set in a high school. You can have this thing be so contained, but have that like sprinkling. Like my god. And Vulture looks incredible. I love the ruffles.
Can't get over the
Yeah.
ruffles.
I think that we might have the Look at that.
Yeah, here's the classroom.
Oh wow!
Yeah, Bruce Banner's on the very end over there.
That's a banner. That
There
is.
you go.
That's thrilling.
Holy crap!
There's
that's
Tesla,
awesome.
Einstein, banner.
Yeah, and that makes total sense. Wow.
I mean, I think that Prowler is childish. I mean, Donald Glover might be Prowler by the way his character's in there for like that 2 frames.
Yeah.
It makes sense also, that now makes sense why they've been pushing him so hard
In the
Amazing
comics.
Spider-Man.
Right.
Yeah.
He's literally got his own title right now.
This
Marvel's
was a
not
blink
dumb.
and you miss it. I missed this the first, I think, 3 times I watched the
Really?
trailer.
Also,
Oh, man, I saw it
Yellow.
the very first time.
I think
Yeah.
that's an Iron Man hand that was tossed aside in another movie that he's repurposed. If
Oh,
you look,
that's
that kind of looks
interesting.
like a hand. So I think
Yeah,
that
look-
you pick up scraps and you maybe Shi'ar technology plus Iron Man hand. Like there's a lot of cool stuff that the Tinker might have tinkered.
So while we're looking at this picture, and Doom, I
Right.
think I sent another picture with the glare out of the face there. See if
Because
you can
it's-
find that, because it makes it a little trickier to see. I've had some people tell me they think that's Logan Marshall Green, and I've
Right.
said I think it's Michael Chernis who plays the Tinkerer.
I think so too.
But I've had other people say, no, that's Logan Marshall Green. So I've got a picture of Michael Chernis and I've got a picture of Logan Marshall Green.
Oh, I think that's Logan Marshall Green, like almost definitively.
All right, let's
So
look
there's
at
Logan Marshall
there
Green.
this.
Yep.
it is.
This is Logan.
Right.
All right, let's look at Michael Chernis.
What
What
a
is
sad
that picture?
What a sad
I know,
image of
out of
Logan.
all the-
Yeah, no, that's definitely Logan Marshall Green.
Oh yeah.
Well, then look at the picture without
But
the
look
glare.
at the picture without the glare.
That's
Because
Logan
of the
Marshall Green.
beard.
They both have beards.
Oh, the screen's so dark
I
here.
think that's Logan
Yeah.
Marshall Green just because of like
The face.
yeah, but because of the fact that it is.
It's interesting
Okay.
because like they're either one of them put on some weight for this role,
Yeah.
or
Well,
one of
someone
them
lost
lost
weight.
weight.
Yeah,
Yeah.
that's what's that face looks like it could belong to either of the two men to
Who's
me.
Logan
Like,
Marshall Green playing?
We don't know.
We don't know.
That's
Yeah.
that's why I'm throwing
That's
that
the
out
thing.
there.
I think I'm looking-
because he looks like he's testing technology out.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So
And it kind of looks like a mentorish. Mentor.
Yeah,
Sorry,
like-
I'm on medicine.
you're on
I'm
like
sick.
a lot of Dayquil.
All the
yeah.
Dayquil.
Yeah,
You're doing
all
great.
the Dayquil
I'm
right
closer
now.
to the screen. I think that's Logan Marshall Green because
Okay.
the eyebrows, his eyebrows are curved. I'm serious.
No, really.
no,
I mean,
no,
it's his
that's-
face.
that's what
Just look
we're-
at the
that's what we're
cheeks.
down to.
All
Yeah.
you need to look at is the cheeks. The other guy's got bigger cheeks.
I don't
He's
see
a heavier
that as
dude.
the other guy at all.
No,
Man,
that's
if
not.
Personally.
If only
Yeah.
he had some facial recognition.
In life, he
I'm
plays almost
gone.
Tom Hardy. In this, it looks like he plays one of Tinker's lackeys.
Okay, so if he's one of the lackeys and he's got a weapon that has a hand on it that he's shooting, who is he?
I think
I
he's
thought it was the
testing out.
Tinkerer.
I think he's testing
Yeah.
out Shocker stuff.
But
Okay.
he's not.
He's
Shocker.
not Shocker. I think
No.
he's testing out
Woodbine is.
because the Shocker doesn't have an Iron Man hand. I think
No.
he's
That's
testing.
true.
I think.
Who's
think.
Shocker? I don't think that's an Iron Man
Shocker
hand.
is,
You don't think
no,
it's
I
Iron
understand
Man?
the character, but who's playing him?
Bokeem
Bokeem
Woodbine.
Bokeem
Okay.
Woodbine.
Yeah, and in fact, it's
Oh,
in the
yeah.
international trailer where they have a shot of him,
Yeah,
and he's
I've
he's
got a
utilizing
picture
the
of that.
Just that
technology.
Yeah.
yellow sleeve is.
Yeah, pretty indicative.
It's
That's why I
pretty
think he's testing
Shocker.
it. I think he's a lackey that tests the thing. As they evolve it, it becomes the costume. He's testing like the Shocker arm and the safety, and then later on, Bokeem takes it. He might even steal it.
That's cool.
We don't know, but
Possibly.
I think this is very much still the Shocker tech just being used as a tester, and that's why I think Prowler's there, and that's why I think it's Prowler is they're all working together as like a syndicate forming the Tinker's goons.
Yeah, no, I agree with that. I think that's Prowler. And we've definitely got Tinker and Vulture, and then we've got Shocker in there. But who's Logan Marshall Green? Like that's what I'm trying to get to. Because I've just been assuming that that's Tinkerer the whole time.
Gotcha.
And if he's not the Tinkerer and he's Logan Marshall Green and he's got a weapon that he's doing that with, you're saying he's testing it out.
Yeah, and
my
that's why he has the
suggestion
sleeve.
is he's not testing it out. My suggestion is like that's his weapon that he's playing with.
I think it would be silly to have two weapons that similar, like Shocker arm and
No,
then
no,
that.
no. I think what it is that it's they've utilized this technology and he's just made a whole lot of things
Yeah.
from the same energy source,
'Cause-
which is why they all have the same color.
Yep,
Like
that's
the same
exactly what I was
color.
gonna say.
And that's just what it is. Maybe it's something like he's generating money for his empire thing. The Tinkerer maybe has something against Tony Stark, and like they have that
Right.
history going on. So he's putting out all of these weapons for like we theorized about this with the Vulture. Like Vulture is kind of like a mastermind like character, but he's like rough muscle.
Right.
And Tinkerer kind of arms him and be like, hey, go after Stark for me, or anything Stark has.
Right,
you know,
right.
anything
Yeah.
that he loves.
I don't even know if it would be that important to give Tinkerer such a vindictive motivation. Like, I think he just knows how to build stuff, and then people with money are like, dude, like, because I think a lot of times in the comics, it's like you pay me, I'll make you whatever you want.
Yeah.
Right.
Like, I don't know, it could be. I mean, it's interesting just to be the idea of like, well, I can give you something that can cut an ATM out of a wall, and like, you know what I mean? Like, if he's just sort of like a hapless, like, just like making stuff, and he doesn't really have a moral compass, and
he's like the Q of the supervillains.
Yeah, but then Keaton has the score to settle, and he, you know what I mean? Like, I don't know. It's interesting. I mean, there's a million ways to go with it.
The Tinkerer's been around since Spider-Man began. He was a '60s villain. He's always and like he was literally a Ditko bad guy. Yeah. I think and aliens were involved at one point.
First issue.
Yeah, that issue, like he was working for aliens or as aliens. I think that he's going to be, like you're saying, no moral compass. He's not going to be anyone's. He's
making money.
He's the Osborn of the Amazing Spider-Man trilogy, and I'm glad they're going instead of everyone being animal-based, everything can be science-based, because that's more indicative of this Spider-Man.
Yeah.
And I think that's really cool. This is going to be science and invention and everything else.
Tech-based.
And that plays so much more to the Tony Stark-Spider-Man relationship, and I think that's why Tony Stark's so involved in the trailer. And I think using tech instead of, like, everyone's some sort of animal and everything come from Oscorp. I think this is a better way to go, because it allows more world-building.
Man, I hope they make them smart.
Me too.
I mean, they already have it.
Spider-Man,
yeah, like he's already built.
yeah.
But I hope they I hope there's just a really good problem-solving, like thing, like just And Spectacular Spider-Man. One of my favorite things about that series was the cartoon was that every time he defeated one of the main Sinister Six bad guys, it was a way that I hadn't seen it done before.
Right.
It was really smart. Like Rhino, his suit was impenetrable, and then the more they fought, the more he saw like Rhino like really sweating, and he's like, wait, nothing can get into that suit, which means nothing can get out either.
Yeah.
Like, that means he's overheating. I need to overheat him. And then, like, basically he gives Rhino heat exhaustion. And then he just, like, pummels him and he's done. Like, he can't, like, it's just a really cool, like, take on stuff.
And this allows for all of that, because if they do the right, I don't mind multiple villains if they do it right like that. And I think that the Tinkerer is a great anti-Tony Stark.
Yeah.
Like all the brilliance of Tony Stark, but in the wrong hands. So having him involved gives you that. The beautiful thing about superhero movies is the duality of man.
And that's and even like let's like scrap Tony Stark. Like I don't care. Like I love that he's in the trailer, but like get him out of it. Like it's actually there's a cool parallel there of Peter Parker and the Tinkerer, because that dude doesn't look like he's gonna be like, hi, how are you? I'm the Tinkerer. He's like, well, I just do things. He's got like I think he's another poor kid who's gifted, but he didn't get the lessons that Parker got, and that's what makes Spider-Man such a cool character, is that he has such a respect and such a need to do the right thing, where this dude maybe never had that example set for him.
Right, he didn't have Uncle Ben to tell him about
He's just using his gifts to make money. He doesn't care. People get hurt, whatever, that's the world, yada, yada, yada. But there's a separate path there that these two kids have taken, and Parker being younger than the Tinkerer, but still, like, that idea of what it could have been.
And so, that would make sense for the casting of why they went younger than having an old Tinkerer, because you want that parallel stronger.
Yeah.
So you're saying that the Tinkerer will act as a foil to, like, Peter Parker, as in, like, this is what could have been.
Yeah,
I think all good villains are the other side of your
the mirror,
the
the fractured reflection of what could, like, that,
And that's why Venom's such a great character when done right, because he's literally the Dark Spider-Man. So I think that this could be a great way to show the duality of his tech being used against like mankind. So I think having a bunch of villains do little science things is the best way to go, and that's why I think he's testing the Shocker arm personally.
Something else that we were talking about is escalation of force. That is with this, and it also touches on what John Watts said, where these are basically villains, like street level villains that then had to up their game. I don't know the exact quote.
The quote is, I've got it written down here. He says something like, "The world is changing, boys. Time we change with it," or something like that.
With like what Michael Keaton. Well, I'm sorry, Toombs says.
Right, it's the Dark Knight trilogy idea.
Yeah, but like that escalation of force. So, what do you guys think about that? Like,
I love that.
They had to.
And in that vein, I love the idea that we open the trailer with an ATM robbery that Spider-Man gets in the middle of. And then in the middle, we get to the Vulture, and then we kind of get back to like tech stuff, yada yada yada. I think movie-wise, structure-wise, we meet Shocker before he's Shocker.
Yeah.
Spider-Man Spider-Man always humiliates his foes, and that's what's like so like kind of awesome but infuriating, is that he just like humiliates them, like beats them, and then just like
taunts,
mocks them so hard, and he makes people crazy. He makes them so mad they make mistakes.
That's why the Sinister Six exists.
But here's the thing: is like they get in there, and then Shocker's like, "I'm done, dude. That kid is making me like I'm over it," and he gets that escalation of force. It's like it's basically Spider-Man's a little bit of a bully. Like, he's
Yeah.
a bully's bully.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Like,
Yeah,
he comes
100%,
back and, like,
100%.
fights back at the bad guys. And I think it's Shocker gets humiliated right out the gate, and then Spider-Man thinks he's taken care of, and then we deal with the Vulture stuff, and it gets bigger, and then Shocker comes back, and he's like, hey, you remember me? Shabam! And then it's
Yeah.
like, oh, what did I do? You know what I mean? And it's that thing that Spider-Man's like, oh, he's back, and it's more, and it grows, and it
Yeah.
always intensifies. And
That's a really I've never heard that take on it before. Like, not
interesting
not the
take,
way
I
you're
like it.
saying it, because ultimately he's creating his own
yeah.
like
Right.
cyclical
That's what
violence.
happened with
Yeah,
Venom.
there's
That's
no,
what happened
Yeah.
with a
there's
lot
no
of villains.
healing.
Right.
You know what I mean?
No,
and
you
like
can't.
he's so focused on doing what's right, but he can't do all of it. You know,
Yeah.
and that's what's so great about Parker is he can't
Right.
he can't do
He can't be
all of
everything.
it.
He can't do it all right.
No, but then in Superior Spider-Man, that is, I still no, dude. Have you read it?
I hate it.
I love it.
I know.
I love it. I think it's so important.
Yeah.
I think it's so important that you take one of his greatest villains, Doc Ock, and you give him the opportunity to be what Spider-Man is.
If it was half the length, I would have enjoyed it, or if it was an alternate universe, I would have enjoyed it. But it caused Spider-Man never came back for me after Superior Spider-Man. I've never felt like Peter Parker was Peter Parker again. I've not read a Spider-Man comic in 3 years that felt like Peter Parker was in it, and
Like-
that's painful.
Well, that's okay.
That's not because of Superior
I
Spider-Man. That's because of Dan Slott.
Yeah,
I won't
that's- I
speak
think-
specifically against a man.
I think that's more tone. But in the end of that run, when Spider-Man learns from Ock and Ock learns from Spider-Man.
Oh, that's beautiful.
Like, that's
a moment.
huge.
Yeah, absolutely.
Yeah.
I
That
agree
makes
with
that ending of that like was so good for me. I was like, yeah, good. Like, I love that. And then the reveal that he's still there. I love that book, and I love the idea of like a bad guy trying to be good, and like
Yeah.
how much is actually unchangeable in a person,
Yeah.
and how much can you change, and what can you change
Right.
for the better, and all that stuff.
Right.
For me, that was Kraven's Last Hunt, because the commentary on Spider-Man being a force of darkness through Kraven and beating up Vermin, and Spider-Man seeing what he could become was there, but it was done through a way that felt more true to the character. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah.
It's the same lesson, but told in a different way. So I see why you like it. I just like the version of... I got the same moral compass out of it.
Yeah.
And I think that this movie can... I think we're going to get, like... I've dreamt of, like, 9 Spider-Mans with Tom Holland. I think this is a great first step in... Like, he'll learn responsibility in a different way than just the Uncle Ben origin story by way of this technology. I think that... And I still think that Logan Marshall Green is going to be Shocker #1, and then it evolves into Shocker #2 with Bokeem.
Yeah.
And I think that we'll see... how far technology can go in the wrong hands, and I think that'll be Spider-Man's first lesson.
Right.
And that's why I think Tony Stark's important.
Yeah. Oh, I think Tony Stark's very important. I'm just saying I don't want too much.
I don't want to
of
be
him.
in the whole movie.
Yeah.
Right.
Here's my opinion on Stark. I think we'll probably see him in like 4, maybe 5 scenes, no more than.
Yeah.
But his presence will be felt
Okay.
all throughout
Right.
because Tom Holland needs a father figure. He sees that in Tony Stark.
Uncle
Does he?
figure. Uncle
Does he?
figure.
I'm not saying
like-
he does. I'm not saying that like ultimately he does. I'm saying Tom Holland in this film is seeing Robert Downey Jr., Tony Stark, as a
Yeah.
father figure
A
and is
mentor
actively
figure.
seeking that out. I think by the end of the film he'll realize, oh, you know what? Like Uncle
Yeah.
Ben, the lessons that I learned, I've got friends, I've got allies, I'm good.
I've got
But
this
I
locked.
think at the beginning when like that hug happens and everything else, certainly the trailer is
Yeah,
setting up.
that's a good
The
point.
non-hug.
And then he
I
wants to
love
have that bond with...
Yeah.
And of
Yeah.
course he idolizes... Everybody idolizes Tony Stark.
That also builds to Stark dying.
Right. Which is perhaps inevitable.
Yeah.
Because that's going to affect
He's
the whole
gonna
Marvel
age
universe.
out, but,
And we
like-
need Spider-Man to be affected by that on many levels,
Right.
because Spider-Man's the next wave of Marvel. Like, Spider-Man's vital to the future of... Now that this deal's been made, Spider-Man's their guy.
Yeah.
And just character-wise, Spider-Man is nothing but suffering.
Right.
Yeah.
He has to be.
So
and that's the beauty of the character.
if he gets close to Stark, Stark's out. Like,
Right.
Yeah.
Like, that's it. Like,
That's
just,
good movie making. That's
Yeah.
just how you write a movie. You make the most lovable character die.
Yeah.
Eventually.
Eventually, yeah.
Eventually. I don't think it'll be in this
But
movie.
you need Spider-Man under rubble constantly. You need that shot of Spider-Man
That
holding
shot.
everything up.
That
you know what I mean?
shot.
That shot
Of
at
him
first...
holding the Staten Island ferry together.
Which is so iconic in itself.
It's
I
so
love that.
great.
The Statue of Liberty behind it is what kind of saved that shot for me. I'm so over Jesus Christ motifs in these movies.
yeah.
Like
Yeah,
when
I
he's
see
being
that.
crucified like that, and I'm like, no,
What if
no.
he falls from space and has his arms out?
Yeah, see, I don't like that stuff. I just don't. I'm like over. Like
I see
we
what you
get
did
it.
there.
Like do something different. You know what I
Yeah.
mean? But in that, I'm like, I get it. Like, I think
Yeah.
in that scene, it's earned, and it, like, makes sense that he's doing that. But then the Statue of Liberty just barely visible in the
Barely
back
visible.
is
Makes it all New
so
York.
special
Yeah.
and so cool and fun.
Well done.
And it's a nod for me to Amazing Spider-Man 2, which I think is the strongest Spider-Man.
Yeah.
Like
Sweet.
the beautiful train shot. Like, I felt like that was a great...
Not Amazing Spider-Man
I mean,
2.
sorry, you're right. Spider-Man 2.
I almost
Yeah.
lost
When-
my
you
mind
know what the
on
best
you.
Spider-Man
When you have
movie is?
Tim Meadows like reach out and like
I
stop him
saw
from
your
falling
eyes
over.
bug, and I was like, did you not like Spider-Man 2?
No, Spider-Man 2 is great. You said Amazing Spider-Man 2.
Sorry.
I met someone this week, and they will remain nameless, but they were like, "Oh no, I love Amazing Spider-Man 2," and I just
They will
I
remain
just it was the exact amount of silence that was just in that room.
Yo, I love episode 1, dog.
Oh wow!
This shot, like, immediately.
You just ruined my heart.
This shot, like, immediately called.
I think episode Star Wars.
Yeah.
I think that's the strongest of the prequels, and I stand by it.
Oh no!
I think
another show.
the other two are such long, boring, nothing
Matt,
happens.
get out.
No, I mean it. I'll fight anybody. That's episode 1 is the closest thing to a movie out of those three. They're all garbage, but anyway, moving on.
joking or not.
No, I'm
I
being
know,
very
right?
serious.
This is another show. There's an AfterBuzz show just about Matt Cook defending episode 1.
I will. Compared to the other two,
Speaking of that, then, how much did you love that Leeds had a was it a Lego like
Lego Death
Yeah.
Star.
Death
Love
Star?
that.
Which is
You know it had
directly
the
out of
exhaust
Ultimate
port.
Spider-Man, Miles Morales. That is a Genki
Awesome.
moment. Genki's
Yeah.
obsessed with Legos. He literally drops his stack of Legos when he discovers a Miles Morales moment. They made Ned Leeds Genki in a way that I'm not sure. This is one of the negatives of the trailer for me. One, for me, I don't feel like you can make Ned Leeds Genki because Genki's important to Miles Morales, and eventually
Very.
I do want Miles Morales. And then people that don't know that are going to be like, why is this guy's best friend just like Peter Parker's best friend? But it's not fair to Miles.
Yeah.
Like, it's disrespectful to the... And I get why they're doing it, because they're kind of doing an amalgamation of Ultimate Spider-Mans. They're doing both Ultimate Spider-Mans in one, and I respect that, but it kind of nips Miles in the bud. Like, you can't do a lot of Miles stuff because they're already doing it now. So, long game, it kind of messes up Genki, and I like that character. Short game, how are you going to have Hobgoblin be that guy? Like, that...
He'll just be a different Ned. Like,
be
he won't
a
be Ned
different
Leeds.
kind of-
He'll be one of the other 30,000 hobgoblins.
Yeah,
Yeah.
but Ned Leeds is so vital to the fabric of the 70s Spider-Man. He's a guy that Peter Parker wants to be because he's in love with the girl that Spider-Man loves. He's a reporter that Spider-Man respects. And then when he turns out to be the Hobgoblin, it's disrespectful to both Peter Parker and Spider-Man. That is so important. You
Yeah.
have a crime boss that affects both characters of Peter Parker and Spider-Man. That makes it so much more painful. So to sacrifice that for a character that already exists in another Spider-Man's continuity is disrespectful 8 ways from Sunday.
Nice rant.
Yeah. Wow.
Do you know what I
like
mean?
that.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It sacrifices so much for very little gain. He could have been someone else. He could have been Norman Osborn. He could have been.
but he
could
can
have
still
even,
do those things.
He could, but he now can't be. If Ned Leeds grew up with Spider-Man, he can't be a rival in the business world as much because he'd know how good of a reporter he was. He'd know how much he loved the girl. It loses that traction,
sure.
and that's why I'm a little worried.
Yeah. But that can come in with, I mean, when you say you can't do it, I mean, Spider-Man, when done right, just is the same book.
The only way I'd do it now is I'd make Eddie Brock that character. I'd make Eddie Brock a photographer in the Daily
is
Bugle.
great.
That's just, yeah, and then you have the Venom animosity.
Yeah.
I just like the Hobgoblin in the 70s a lot.
Yeah.
So I just...
No, I totally get it.
And Hobgoblin and Green Goblin are so, in terms of their power set, in terms of like everything else that they do, they're very similar.
Right,
Yes,
right.
they are.
So, like, in Green Goblin is the more recognizable. They haven't done it since the 2001 Spider-Man. So more than likely, we're going to see.
Green Goblin was in Amazing Spider-Man.
Oh, was it? What?
Harry Osborn. He was that silly like, Green Goblin thing they did. Dane
I don't remember
DeHaan.
that.
Anyways.
I don't
Dane
remember
DeHaan
that.
had the
Oh,
X
whatever.
Games.
We
Whatever.
can all understand
Barely.
why you didn't think that was Green Goblin.
Barely counts. Barely
I
counts.
love,
Right.
I love in the trailer the shot where he's wrecked, where he's on the ground and he's looking up and his mask
Yeah.
is off
Yeah.
and his face is
It looks like
pummeled.
he's on,
Yeah.
on
he's
maybe
just destroyed.
on Coney
Yeah.
Island or something.
Yeah.
There's the Ferris wheel in the back.
It is so special, that shot, and the fact that one, he's getting back up.
Yeah.
That's Spider-Man.
That's huge.
Yeah,
he's
that's-
and he's
not
on the
for that
beach.
character.
There's
He's
the
not
pier
in
in the
costume
background
either.
That's such a big deal. And then right after this, you see Vulture is in what looks to be the same terrain.
Yeah.
And he's in a little bit of a crater, maybe an impact crater.
Yeah, and he looks a bit, ragged.
Yeah. The shot of him getting back up is all I really need.
Well, so
Like, to tell me that they're doing it.
So
That.
it's hard to see because of the lights in the studio, so you can't really see it. But in this shot, it looks like he's wearing
The original outfit.
like the original outfit.
Yeah.
His original outfit.
His original
There's
outfit.
a
Yeah.
very visible zipper on the front, like he's wearing a hoodie.
Like he's wearing a
Yeah.
hoodie, which is similar to what he was wearing, like from what we remember in Civil War and stuff like that.
I
So,
think much like the Iron Spider, Tony Stark has some control over his Spider-Man suit. He
yeah.
clearly tells Peter to stop doing it. Peter goes back out. I think he shuts down the suit, and we have to see the heart of Spider-Man is not in the suit; it's in the man.
it's in the man. Yeah. So like that's kind of what I'm seeing there too. Is somehow Stark is tracking him. Somehow he has some control over the suit. Iron Man has shown up and stopped Spider-Man from doing. Like something happens where he's like, I'm not gonna wear my suit anymore.
Takes a night off. He takes one night off. And it's the night that all hell breaks loose.
Oh, there you go.
He's
Oh.
on the phone with Lit, and she's like, "What's
Yeah.
going on?" And he's like, "I'm sorry, I'm getting slammed. Everything's like crazy." And he's like, "I can't do it, man. It's like too much. Like, I need a night for me."
Yeah.
And he stopped, and he's like, boom, leaves the suit in the closet, puts on his best hoodie, goes out, and all of a sudden it's like, the Vulture comes
That's when
in,
the Vulture
and he's like,
starts.
"What have I done?" And so he just zips up and like pulls that hood down and just starts going, and then and he's trying his best. But
Yeah.
he has gloves on, so I don't necessarily.
I feel
but
like
I feel
it's-
that's a cleaner,
cool.
that's a
That is
cleaner
a way
launch
cleaner.
rather
I like
than
that.
Stark being like override and you
But
know
no,
what I mean?
since
And-
there's that scene in the trailer with Tony saying let someone else handle it, I feel like it's more like this allows Spider-Man to show that he's responsible even when he doesn't have all the gizmos of the Stark suit. I'm afraid the Stark suit's gonna
Yeah.
be too much, and like for us to be like, oh, why does he have so many gadgets? So this shows that he, even without the gadgets, is still
I
Spider-Man.
know, I love that, and I agree with that. I'm saying I don't think it's because Stark has to take it away from him.
Okay.
I don't like the idea of Stark being like, well, I gave you that toy, but you didn't appreciate
But
it.
he does it in the comics.
No.
He does that Iron Spider. He's
I know,
like,
which I love, but then Parker, he's like, what kind of hacker would I be if I didn't know that this was in there? And he
Right,
overrides
right,
the
that's
hack,
true, he
and that's
does.
what's so special about it. That's so much time
Yeah.
built into that moment,
Right.
like that you don't have in a movie. You don't have the time, you don't have the space to do all of this, like this pre-planning, and that's like issues. That's deep into
Yeah, that was
that
like 2
run.
years into that.
And it's great. But I don't think that's it. I think too, we're talking about him learning the responsibility, the heavier responsibility. I like the idea of him being like, this is for me. Like I'm
Right,
gonna make
right.
good.
Right,
I'm gonna
right.
make good on this girl. Like I'm gonna do what's
Yeah.
right for her and whatever. And then it goes bad.
Yeah, I'm meeting Liz Allen at Coney Island.
Yeah.
I'm not taking Spider-Man with
Yeah.
me today.
Jay said Matt and Coy are writing their own movie at this point. That's right.
Yes.
Yeah.
I got ideas.
You should be so lucky.
Let's see.
Easter eggs? Or?
Well, I want to just real quick. I just want to say this. I love the shot. We've already talked about it, but the shot of him with his arms out, like keeping the Staten Island ferry together. I think that's so important for that character. Like that immediately calls back Master Planner Saga of Spider-Man 33, where he's holding up.
That's what I was saying. He's got to be
the
holding.
rubble.
Gotta
Yeah.
be.
Like
Under
he's
something.
always that guy where he's always going to be like, this is too much weight. I can't take this, but I've still got to somehow
has
push
to.
There
against
we
it.
go.
And that's
Yeah.
what in
Gorgeous.
Spider-Man 2, man. I rewatched 1 and 2 recently, and they hold up
The
way better
the
than I
Tobey
remember. I
Maguires?
think 3 and then the Amazing Spider-Man's really did a number on me. But
Yeah.
going back and watch, there's some
They're so
really
good.
solid superhero stuff
That
in
second
there.
movie, Dr. Octopus.
But
like,
that moment
that's
when he's
so good.
holding
Yeah.
that wall and Mary Jane's under, and they see each other for the first,
Yeah.
and
He's like,
she
Yeah.
realizes,
He's like,
yeah,
hey.
he's like, this is kind of heavy, whatever. Yeah, that little thing, like that's really, it's.
I'd forgotten how good they were.
Me
to be
too,
honest.
man.
Because
Yeah.
I kept defending Andrew Garfield's, and then I rewatched it recently, and I was like, "Oh, these are
No.
amazing."
Yeah.
Yeah, they're good. They're really good.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Do you guys, before we go deeper in, do you want to watch the international trailer? Compare and contrast the two?
I don't think
but
there's
there's-
that much there that's
there's
different.
that-
There's
if you
only
want
those-
to, but
there's only
I
those
don't.
couple
Here's-
of scenes.
Here's the part of the international trailer that I like. The very end, the Spider-Man theme blends into like the Avengers theme. That bum bum bum.
I did not catch that.
It's like a play on that tune. Like I'm not a musician, so I don't know how to talk about it, but it's a play on
That's
that
cool.
theme.
Yeah, and then the international trailer does have Bokeem Woodbine in it.
As
and
the shocker, yeah.
domestic
But we can
did
just show
not.
that picture and,
Yeah.
and see that. So I also want to go back to Stark talking. He says, listen, I know school sucks. I know you want to save the world, but you're not ready yet. Stay close to the ground. Stay out of trouble. Forget the flying monster guy. There are people who handle this sort of thing. Then it cuts to him saying, I'm just sick of him treating me like a kid all the time. And then later,
But
this
you
is my
are a
chance to...
kid.
Yeah, but you are a kid. This is my chance to prove myself. I really feel like that conflict between him and Stark is going to be a very important conflict throughout the entirety of the film. Like, I feel like there's going to be Stark like, no, calm down, you're not ready yet. Let the bigger guns handle this, and him pushing against that and railing against that because he knows he's ready. He knows what he's capable of doing.
He thinks he's a teenage boy.
But exactly.
He doesn't
And
know.
I think that's like the major flaw that he has, and I think all of that back and forth, him finding that wiggle room, him finding himself within this bigger, greater world, is what makes that last shot of Iron Man flying with him like the best of the whole trailer.
But we don't know where that comes in the film.
You're right, we don't.
That might be early.
You're
Like, come
right,
on,
but-
let's take it for a test ride. And it's like, well, we see him emote and it's awesome and he's excited.
You're right. You're right. But the
I
way
agree.
the
I think it's
trailer-
important.
The way the trailer parses it out, the way it's edited, it
Right,
seems like they're
right.
saying there's going to come a point where Iron Man finally sees
That he's earned this.
He's earned this. He wants to go against the Vulture. He kept the Staten Island ferry from falling apart. All these other things.
Yeah.
Like, this kid's ready. He needs help. He still needs help. I can't stop him from fighting Vulture, but I can help him out. Bless you.
Bless you. That explosion, that purple energy stuff, like, I love the way that energy looks. Like, the weaponized, like, whatever they're doing, however they're going to justify that, I think that's really cool looking.
Yeah.
I love that. Just like sort of like wild.
And we see in the trailer that it looks like Vulture is flying through. Where the cars are parked, and he's got the gun, and then boom.
Awesome.
I feel like there's no swirly space sky thing in this movie, and that makes me happy.
Yes, no swirling trash can fire.
I feel like that's not going to happen. That makes me really comfortable.
Yeah.
I love the amount of world building this trailer alludes to. That there can be hundreds of tech villains, because I argue that Batman and Spider-Man have the best rogues gallery in comics.
Yeah.
And I also think that they've both not been utilized. Like, I think that we've used the Green Goblin so many times.
But there's so many
and
others.
and Osborn's important. I'm not denying that. I love Harry Osborn.
Only because of the
legacy
relationship
and the legacy between
and the
everyone.
weight of it.
You need the Norman. I've forgotten how good the Norman Peter Parker father-son thing in the first Spider-Man was. That it's
And
amazing.
Harry is
and
so
Harry the best
scorned
friend,
by
and
it,
he's
and
like
he's just
jealous,
like-
but loves his friend.
Yeah.
That's what we need to world build, but that shouldn't be the first movie, and it's not.
Yeah.
And I think that this. If we have 9 Spider-Mans, there's plenty of story. There's so much to tell, and having us grow up with Tom Holland, I want this Harry Potter Spider-Man, and it looks like we're getting it.
Yeah.
Yeah, I even like the feel that they do with the music for the domestic.
Yeah.
I mean, yes, that's so, John Hughes-esque type of high school,
Yeah.
but he's also a superhero, and comparing it to the international trailer where it's like, it's very intense. And it's like, this is the epic, Marvel that you know and love.
Yeah.
In Spider-Man form.
This was the John Hughes Spider-Man movie we were teased with when they announced
Yeah,
it.
it absolutely was.
And I think too, the international trailers, like, most of it's like, remember you loved this? Like, whereas, like, I think with the domestic, we get like an actual movie trailer.
I mean,
Yeah.
it comes down just like the way they opened it. Like, they put a little teaser scene before each trailer, and in the international one, it was the scene from Civil War.
Yep.
In the domestic one, it was the web wings.
The web
Like, get
wings.
excited about new
Yeah.
craziness you never thought you'd see on screen.
Yeah. Hey, Doom, can you find the song at the very end of the international trailer and just play it? Because I really like how they did it.
We
Like,
just watched like the last 30 seconds
Yeah.
of the trailer.
yeah, just listen to the music at the very end.
Or a kid.
This is my chance to prove myself.
That shot.
Their shocker.
Kill you and everybody you love.
Oh, I hear it now.
Yeah.
I hear it.
Good ear.
Nice.
Like it's just cool.
Yeah,
Yeah.
it's just
under,
enough.
Yeah.
just
Yeah.
enough to be like, oh, he's an
That was
Avenger.
masterful.
Dude, yeah.
That's
It's really well done. Michael
Well done.
Giacchino.
that shot of him
Nice.
running on top of the train.
Yeah. It's so good.
Oh my god! And
There-
running through a grass field, like, it looks like he's like when he's running through that crowd of people. That's probably at Washington Monument, I would imagine.
Yeah,
from the,
probably so.
Yeah.
the coloring of the thing.
Something I really liked from the trailer was how his suit is like hermetically sealed, like
Yeah.
on his body. It's like, of
Yeah.
course, because that's the
That's
best,
how it
easy.
fits.
That's how
Yeah.
it's
That's how it's
tight.
so much.
That's how we can get in and
I
out
love
of
it.
it.
Pressing it just fall.
It's
Yeah.
like boom, like yes.
The humor in the
Why can't I
trailer's
have
great.
dresses like that?
Yeah, exactly. If only we had Stark Tech.
I know.
I also love that none of us knew exactly what a John Hughes superhero movie would feel like. Like, that was always the pitch. Everyone heard that was the thing. I didn't get to see the Comic-Con footage, so this was my first exposure. I get more out of this trailer the more I watch it. Like every single time I watch it, I get more of a feeling and I get more emotions. And a lot of trailers don't feel that way. A lot of trailers are like, oh, I watched it twice and I know what this is. This trailer grows and grows, and if the movie is half that, then man, this is gonna be a great rewatch.
Yeah, absolutely. Let's talk very quickly about Peter Parker being so Peter Parker. Like he's awkward. He's creeping on Liz Allen. He's watching footage of himself
Which
in
is
class.
Ditko-tastic. Him creeping is like, I always thought it was funny that John Romita Sr. made him a little bit more of a ladies' man. Like when Ditko had him, he was always the guy in a very pressed suit. He was clearly wearing
Sweater
clothes
vest,
from his last generation. Like he didn't fit in the school. He always looked just slightly off.
He was a square.
And
they
he was
call
like,
him a
and
square
he
all
was
the time.
watching, and then John Romita Sr. is like, but what if he's also handsome?
Yeah.
And this is a nice mix between both, because Tom Holland's a good-looking guy, but he's got the Ditko sensibilities with the Tom Holland charm, so it kind of like is this beautiful amalgamation of both of those early Spider-Man. So I think they're going to have a great way to make that arc between, like, his confidence grows as his confidence grows.
Yeah.
Like, there's so much potential there.
I love, first of all, Tom Holland is very fit, right? Like, but we don't see Peter Parker before the bite.
Right,
and he's still in high school.
Yeah.
So high school, pretty early on, I'm going to say before the bite, you get told what you are in school. Yeah. Like, there's no room outside of, like, it's an uphill battle to get out of, like, Nerdville. So I think it's still easy to miss him in high school, which I think allows him to be both those things. One of the things I really love about Peter Parker and Spider-Man is that he's only truly himself when he's not himself. Yeah. He can only really be
Peter Parker when he's
Spider-Man.
Yeah.
Like, he has to wear a mask in order to show who he really is, which is a really cool thing, a really cool dynamic to have.
Yeah.
Doing the shot you just had up, I also love the world building of Howard Stark in that image. Did you catch that?
No.
Oh, is he on the wall or something?
If you look to the left above that girl, that's Howard Stark next to the rocket.
That's awesome.
Wow.
That's the what's his name? Not
Howard Slattery, I believe his name.
Yeah.
John Slattery.
John, thank you. Yeah, Howard Stark and John Slattery is Howard
version
Slattery.
of Howard Stark, since there are two running around.
I think I remember hearing, like, back when they were filming that this was like a science and technology magnet school, and like you had to pay to get in and stuff like that. So like, I think Peter Parker has a scholarship from Stark to be at this school.
It better
that
be.
That makes sense.
Because no public school in New York's gonna have all that science all over. You know what I mean? Like, that's too many murals already.
So, and like, there's a picture that I took, Doom. I don't know if you can find it in there, but it's of Midtown High, and it looks like
it looks
swanky.
amazing.
It looks like
it's like,
it looks like a college university. Like,
I never even thought of the idea of Tony Stark giving him a scholarship. I love that so much.
So I think Stark gives him a scholarship.
Yes.
Partially because he believes in the kid, but partially to keep his eye on him.
Great.
Yeah.
And I didn't see the Stark mural in the background, but that would make total sense that Stark
has
interest in the school.
Like Stark owns a library,
That's
a library donation.
Midtown. That's mid-country.
Yeah. That's like upper state.
Are we
New
sure
York,
that's what that is?
It doesn't.
No,
yeah,
but like it shows that as an establishing shot before it cuts to that other shot of him in the school.
Yeah, which may just be
clearly
manipulation.
a high school.
Nick Headsmith on the live chat said it's the private school that Miles Morales goes to. That's also a fair point. Like, I really think they're combining these.
So much Miles Morales.
I think because Miles Morales goes to a private school that he has to like the
What
first
if
two
we
issues are
see
fighting
a
for.
freshman named Miles?
No, what if we see a Prowler that is the uncle to a young boy that gets used in 5 movies?
Great.
Yeah.
I want Hobie first, and then that way we have the legacy of Miles be earned, and that way we get a bunch of Tom Holland first.
Yeah.
So, because his uncle needs to be older and needs to be a criminal for a long time, and more childish Gambino.
And think about how just tragic and sad and tear-jerkingly awful it's going to be when we've had 3 or 4 movies with Tom Holland.
9.
And then he dies,
Oof.
and Miles Morales takes over.
Right.
And it's like, we've fallen in love with this kid, and now Peter Parker has died, and Miles Morales is the new Spider-Man. And like,
I hope
that's
it
going to be
wasn't a
sad
spoiler
and
for
bittersweet and like that's comic book lore. Like that's
I spoiled
we know that
70s
Milton,
Hobgoblin, and I feel bad. Someone in the chat was like, "I'm almost there," and I was like, "I ruined 40 years ago Great Mystery, and it's really good, and I am sorry." Right? Hobgoblin, Peter Parker.
All right, we should be moving on to speak with our Merry Marvellites, but Spider-Man fans
Loved it.
What, like, final remarks? Anything else that you want to talk about? We've still got a couple minutes, so
We Yeah.
I'm gonna say that it's a movie trailer for a superhero that I love, and the trailer makes me feel excited, hopeful, and strong, and makes me want to do better. You know what I mean? Like, I think that's so important in a superhero movie. I think there's such a responsibility to the public to give people something to aspire to, and I think this is a great way to do that, especially for young kids, and even for me as an adult man. Like, it's like, do the right thing. Be better. Work hard, be better. Like, that's so exciting.
Be your best you.
Rather than, they're sad, they're angry, and now they're punching people without powers. It's like, get out. Like, I don't like all that. Like, I'm so excited.
I would actually see that movie, though.
The one I just said?
Well, that short film.
Coy, do you have anything?
I think, to tangent off that, that's a good I think that this allows, there's all those jokes like Netflix's Marvel and Marvel's Cinematic Universe where like one's like bright and colorful, the other's really dark. I think that Spider-Man is the most optimistic character because he has to be. He's a depressed guy that has all this responsibility, but he overcomes it. So the optimism is inherent to his character. And I think this being so bright and lovely with shades of dark really allows the Spider-Man mythos to build independent but also in conjunction to the Avengers universe.
Sure.
Like, there's enough Easter eggs and a lot of Tony Stark that allows it, but this can also go off and be its own thing, and there's so much Spider-Man lore that can be built off just this trailer. This was 3 minutes that set up so much, and if the movie can set up this much while feeling organic, we can get the Spider-Man series that we all deserve. Like, we can have the Spider-Man character that we're so close to having so many times, and this is the closest to Spider-Man I've felt. Like, this is the closest we've gotten, and this was a blip. This was a tiny little image. This was so short, but it felt like Spider-Man. Within seconds of that trailer, I was like, oh, I've read this. This is Spider-Man. So I think they did it right. I think this is the tone I want. It's not my favorite trailer, but it's the trailer I've rewatched most, and that's saying a lot.
I love how much it looks like New York. Like, which is a silly thing to say because so much is taken there, and so many, like, that's where it's all set, but like, it looks so good. Like, the shot of him swinging with Iron Man, like, just that street. Like,
they open in New York. They make the New York a character. In the domestic, they're like, look, this is important to us.
And it's so well done, and it's ground level, and it's like, I don't know, I love the tone, and again, my favorite thing is that shot of him, like, looking up and not giving up. He always gets up. It's awesome.
This trailer had like 4 villains in it. I'm sorry. This trailer had like 4 villains in it, and it didn't feel like a lot, and that's in a short little second, so if they can do that, sorry.
The thing I like about it is that it's really embracing high school life and then having it as a superhero, you know, type of thing. I think that's really awesome because I don't feel like they really hit that on the right note with like some of the other Spider-Man movies. Spider-Mans, some of the other Spider-Mans. But they're really doing it in this one. Like seeing Zendaya where she's just like sitting there like, you guys are creeps.
You guys are losers,
you guys are losers. It's like, it's so well done, and I love that it's kind of cross-genre like that. It's a coming of age into a superhero. So I'm a big fan of that.
I just love that we're seeing a Peter Parker who's like, his superpower, yes, he's got superpowers, but his biggest power is that, like you guys are saying, he always gets up. It's his heart. He's always going to do the right thing, even when it seems like it'll feel like the right thing. It might be the wrong thing, but it's the right thing to him at that moment, and he's going to go do it. And he's dead set on it. And no matter how many times you knock him down, he's going to get up. And I don't know. I'm excited. Like, and that's just from a 3-minute trailer.
If they do the thing where they introduce tons of villains in high school, like they seem to be, like where all the characters are characters from, like we've known, like the Ned Leeds thing. I would love if Zendaya's Felicia Hardy.
Oh. Actually, you had a good...
How cool, because she looks like Runda, but also could be gorgeous.
She had a good theory about Michelle actually turns into Mary Jane.
Like
Mary Jane is a stage name.
Like a stage name,
Yeah, because it looks like she's going through her awkward phase in high school, but we all know that Zendaya can, like,
that's what I'm saying. That's the,
So I think, like, when she makes that change, everybody makes that change. Well, most of us make that change. And I think that's when I think that's when she'll become Mary Jane.
So we both have this interesting duality of her. We're both like, what if she's Felicia Hardy Black Guy? What if she's Michelle Mary Jane? I think that will happen. I think she's cast for a reason.
Yeah.
All right. So before we take off, real quick, Deadline reported late last week that Spider-Man 2 is already eyeing July 5th, 2019.
There we go.
And that has caused Bad Boys 4 to shuffle already. Like, I don't even think they've said they're locking in on it, but Bad Boys was like, cool, no, we'll move.
It's
we'll
yours.
move.
It's
No,
yours.
you got it.
I'll be over there.
You got it. We'll move. All right, take us away on the Marvellites, and then we got to wrap.
Yeah. We've got a lot of social media. I'll try to speed through. So shout outs to everyone that was marking out on the Spider-Man trailer with us and was asking if Coy was still breathing / was in a pleasure coma.
Both of those were true. Yeah.
Still
Barely.
alive. All of that. Okay, into at Tim Kogan. It would be great if you two kind of meh it just to confound Coy for a second, and that was
About
our response
on
the
Screen
Spider-Man
Junkies, yeah.
trailer.
If like they were like, what'd you guys think?
Yeah, whatever.
Do demand sincerity.
At Evan Mono, when today is your day off from work so you can watch Marvel Movie News Live.
Woo, yeah.
At ELIANGY_R.
Eliangi Rosario.
There we go. I'm arranging all my meetings for today around Marvel Movie News Show. Not missing it today, all caps, and you shouldn't either.
Thank you very
amazing.
much.
Thank you.
Yeah.
Nice.
I
And
believe
then
she got the promotion last week or something like that. Yeah.
Sweet.
So
Congrats.
Now she can arrange her meetings. That's
Yeah.
awesome.
There
She
you
got
go.
promoted to like move that stuff.
And then back to last year at Soats N. Loving the lineup tonight. Welcome back, Matt Cook.
Aw, thanks.
yeah, welcome.
Happy to be here.
Okay, so quick questions. At Johnny J.T. Thomas. Oh, okay. Do you think they intentionally made Thor Mask Guy hit Hulk as a little reference to Ragnarok?
Fun.
I think
That's
it's cute.
pretty fun, yeah.
Easter eggs
Speaking
everywhere.
of, like, that's something we didn't touch on. Spider-Man's fighting style in the bank heist.
Great.
Like, he never actually punched anyone.
Because he wouldn't want to
Yeah.
hurt them because he's super strong.
Yeah.
And just
So
dodges
he-
and I love
He
it.
dodges and then makes them hit each other. Like, it was like, it's so good.
That's sweet.
But that is kind of funny. I didn't even notice that. Yeah, good,
love
solid
that.
work, Johnny T.
Good eye.
Yeah, and at Johnny C. Blaze, we answered your question of what we think
what
about
did
the
you think of
Spider-Man
Spider-Man
Homecoming
Homecoming
trailer. I think we answered it very
Can
well.
we just talk about it for 1 minute?
Yeah, Spider-Man Homecoming.
But it's Johnny Cross. We got to say hi to Johnny
true.
Cross.
Yeah. At Mike the Beast 92, with Spider-Man, Thor, and Black Panther all having amazing casts, which are you each most excited to see act together in?
Oof. Spider-Man, Thor, or Black Panther?
I'm Black
Oh.
Panther because the Black Panther cast is ridiculous.
Yeah,
it's
the-
So crazy.
ridiculous
Such
at
a
this
solid
point.
cast.
I
think
mean,
they
the
all have
only
different
people that
strengths.
aren't in it right now that I can think off the top of my head are Morgan Freeman and Lawrence Fishburne, and it's only a matter of time.
Yeah, is
before they
Denzel
have
in
them.
it?
Oh, and Denzel.
Denzel.
Yeah, Denzel. I forget who. We fan cast. I fan cast that with a fan. Oh man.
Oh, I
I
can't
think
remember.
Black Panther have the strongest accolades and the strongest strength of acting. I think that Spider-Man has the best legacy potential because
Yeah.
everything's going to build up. But I think Thor is going to be the wonkiest
It's
as far
gonna
as
be awesome.
Goldblum. Just
Yeah.
anything with just Goldblum. I think so. They all have different merits. So all
Yeah.
of them A+.
I just want to see Goldblum as the Grandmaster going, and
John
Cena.
I am so excited to see something from Thor.
Yeah.
Like I
Yeah.
can't.
Any frame,
I
anything.
can't wait. I
That's-
love What We Do in the Shadows. I loved Hunt for the Wilder People. I'm such a fan of that
Hunt for the
director.
Wilder
I
People
need
was
to-
so
I
good.
cannot wait to see what he
Finish that.
does with this.
Yeah.
I'm so excited.
Yeah,
I'm
and-
excited for all of those. I can't pick one, but that one's the one that I'm most intrigued by.
Yeah, yeah.
Okay.
And we'll probably see a trailer for that June or July because that's
Yeah.
November of next year. So
Yeah.
we've
Yeah.
got 6 or 7 months to wait for anything from that.
Okay, at Joshua_A113, thoughts on Riri possibly going to school with Peter Parker or any other Marvel teens you want in the movie? They might Smallville it, but I think it's too packed already.
Yeah.
For them to also include Ironheart in there, and then you have to think he's already got that mentor relationship with Peter Parker. I think it'd be
Yeah,
a
I
bit
think-
much to also put Riri in there. But hey, this is going to be kind of like a legacy movie thing. Nothing says that she can't show up in the second or
That
third
being
one.
said, I don't know why Marvel would put a Marvel Studios character in a Sony movie.
To plant a seed in the other
To plant a
universe.
seed for the other
Right.
universe, yeah. Like I feel like Riri is gonna definitely be a Marvel Studios thing
Okay.
if she makes it
Right.
into the movies at all, yeah.
Let's see. At Muthu Joker, who do you think are the fan favorite characters are from the classic comics?
Who do you think the fan favorite characters are from the classic comics?
And he was I think he was talking about Spider-Man because
Probably,
he had
right.
he had a picture of the Spider-Man Homecoming.
I
attached to
think
that.
Flash Thompson, who we got. I think
Flash,
eventually.
yeah, Flash Thompson is.
We'll get some Osborns later, I
what's
think.
that guy's name? I cannot remember his name.
The greatest Wes Anderson actor.
How about
Yeah.
Madam Web?
Madam Web's classic in her own way.
Adam Webb.
I mean, I think we showed the ones. I mean, I think we're going to get all of them. I think that's the beauty of this movie is they're setting up for the future. This movie doesn't feel like a prequel, but it also doesn't feel like Iron Man 2.
Yeah.
Wait, I forgot to say, it's so weird that they're bringing Paul Giamatti back as Rhino in this one.
Wait, what?
What?
No, I'm kidding.
I literally just Amazing Spider-Man 2 to you, and you're like, did you say the wrong thing?
Something broke in my brain.
Thank you. Yeah, that was good, Cook. The audience loved it.
Yeah, you're welcome, babies.
Marvel fans had heart attacks. Like,
Everywhere.
all of them.
At Ashley Houchins, who is the best villain, Surtur or Mephisto? I say Surtur.
I say Surtur. Mephisto seems like he's more like, I'm gonna make a deal. Yeah.
Mephisto's involved in One More Day, so I'll never forgive him.
Yeah.
I'm going to blame the character for that.
Honestly, that's where I'm at, too.
Surtur though has like the Twilight Sword, and it takes like he full on attacks Asgard pretty much by himself.
He's the Balrog.
He's pretty
Balrog.
powerful.
This far, no further. Oh no, wait, that's Star Trek.
There it is.
Yeah.
There it
Yeah.
goes.
Yeah.
Something about passing
Mine
not
was
being
Star
allowed.
Trek First Contact. What? Okay.
Oh, Ricky Alsace at Vegito 247. Any chance that at the Matt Key could read the short story I wrote for him on air? If not, it's cool. I don't think we have time.
We got a lot of Marvelites.
We have a lot of Marvelites. But
It's cool.
Doom will take the hit on this one. We don't have time.
Yeah.
But I will read the first sentence.
Great.
Matt Key was at the peak of his bliss in his life.
Ooh.
Oh, nice. That was November.
I'll read the next sentence.
November.
And then it all went horribly wrong.
Okay,
No,
so
it's
we've
perfect. No,
got
it's not it.
3 comment/picks. Diego Pazzo at Yippee182. I found this by accident, but I'm pretty sure you're gonna love it. Props to at Twins Vega 13, I believe. It's an old school Spider-Man comic featuring Vulture on the cover. You sent that to.
But redefined. Like it's like a new take. Look at
Yeah,
that.
there
They
we
did
go.
a Ditko style reinterpretation of the movie.
Oh, that's awesome.
Isn't that
That's so
great?
cool.
So it's Ditko style art with the new interpretation of the characters.
that's
I
so
love
cool.
that.
Oh, that's
Loving-
great.
Yeah,
Solid
loving the
work.
web wings, loving the boots.
I love the web pits, man.
Yeah, that's great, dude.
Yeah, I can't
It's
wait.
such a big deal.
I think that's Spider-Man number 7. The cover is
Very
Spider-Man
nice.
7.
According to
And then-
the book, it says 8.
Oh, maybe I'm wrong.
There you go.
Maybe it is eight.
And then
It's in the first
Charles
12.
Lee at GoofyFan_Chuck. He sent a meme that was online. Tony, this doesn't make sense. It's a fun meme of Tony and Peter in the car where the math just does not add up. You can see there at the top as Tony Stark saying, "Don't do anything I wouldn't do," and then the middle, and definitely don't do anything I would do. No wait, I would do and then wouldn't do, and then at the bottom. It just has Tom Holland and there's all
great.
this math.
And then
trying
Peter's
to
head
figure it out.
explodes.
Yes.
That's great.
And I don't know that we pointed this out, but did we point out the black guy in the Winter Soldier?
I
Yeah.
mentioned it
Okay,
briefly
cool,
during
yeah.
the first run.
All right.
I've got a Felipe Flores, scruffy looking nerf herder, which is a great name by the way. Any comics in particular you'd recommend to prep for Homecoming? Ditko and Bendis, the earliest Spider-Man, and then the early 2000s run of Ultimate Spider-Man
Yeah.
are very much where they're pulling from. I think the first 5 to 6 years in the 60s and then the first 5 to 6 years in the early 2000s are the 2 runs I'd check out because it looks like they're doing a beautiful amalgamation of the 2.
Yeah.
You agree?
Totally
Yep.
agree.
They just had a huge sale on Comixology
Yeah.
of all the of
Oh,
all
yeah.
the Spider-Man
Yeah, they did.
Masterworks.
Yeah.
And
Do it. Just have a good journey.
I went
Yeah,
a little
like
crazy.
with it being December, look for those deals on Comixology and go buy
Yeah.
all that stuff. Yeah.
Big time. And
Or
then-
ask your family for Marvel Unlimited subscriptions.
Yeah.
There you go.
And just read everything.
Marvel Unlimited,
Those
by the way.
Read
I
all
love
the
that.
things.
Wish lists, everybody.
Yeah.
it's on everyone's wish list. And then Mark Paxton at Super Ego Mark. We tried to get this picture on last week, but we had technical difficulties. He goes, "Hey, at the Matt Keys, started reading Doctor Strange because of your recommendations on
Yes.
Marvel Movie News.
Yes.
Inspired this fan art." And it is a ultra cool Matt Key as Doctor Strange.
That is so cool.
And it is so well
That's
done.
incredible, dude.
It's so cool.
If I weren't already married, I would marry that fan art. Me as Doctor Strange, I'll take it. Like a very grim, like the dark dimension is so hard. Like kind of dark. Yeah,
but
I'll take it. That's
but you're also
awesome.
really enjoying it because you're kind of smiling.
It's great.
You know.
Oh, yeah, that
That
is like
hand.
he like reached into my head and pulled out how I was seeing Doctor Strange. Just
love
like
that.
this, like, oh, life is really hard, but it's kind of fun. I can't even dig it. Yeah. Oh, love it. Good work, Mark. And
That's so cool.
thanks for letting me know that you're reading because of like my love for it. Like Like that's incredible. Like that's like
Yeah,
the
you
best
got
feeling.
one.
Yeah, I finally got
You
one.
got one.
Two people
got-
read Doctor Strange now.
Because it,
New Run's great. I love Jason Aaron's Run's great.
yeah, it's actually
Because
very
it's
good.
the least like Doctor Strange, which is so nice.
It's so approachable, easy to understand.
I hate you guys.
It's a linear character
Why did I
in
have?
some
Why
ways.
did I have Cook
was
back
so
up?
weird.
Why did I have Cook
He's
back up?
likable-ish.
Yeah, it's weird. I care about him.
Yeah,
like,
man.
I think that's it for today, and that's it for this year. We don't come back
Yeah,
until
this is-
January.
this
This
is
is our
the
last
last
show.
one.
Whoa.
You guys, it's been an amazing year. I love you, Marvellites. Thank you. And
Well,
I've
it's been an amazing
gotten...
year here. Like,
Yeah,
I know
no, this
2015
room has been great
has been
Yes.
amazing.
this year.
Lock
This
us
room is
in.
cool.
Yeah.
I've got a lot of tweets lately. Like, I thank you so much for the movie fights, love. I've gotten so much that I can't keep up on Twitter anymore. I've fallen a little behind. So everyone that's tweeted me, I've read and appreciated each and every one of them. I haven't responded. It's because of the density of awesome. Thank you for all the Screen Junkies and Marvelite love. And before we go, now, I love heroes. And I have in my house only art of superheroes, and I got to meet one of my heroes and got to talk about X-Men with Conor McGregor, and it was the single coolest experience. And fan cast, I'm asking you guys. I'm gonna go the other way. Usually we koi cast. I'm asking you guys, who do you think Conor McGregor should play in a Marvel thing? Cause, dude, and I'll fill in more on that story in the new year.
Oh, nice.
So koi cast for me.
And yeah, I guess I'd like to say real quick. I mean, obviously I'm the newest addition to the show, but I feel very welcomed by both
Well,
y'all
you
and like the
shouldn't, but-
the Marvel Movie News crowd, and I really appreciate that, and I love this, and I'm looking forward to doing it in the new year.
Yeah.
So, yeah.
And I want to say, well, I think we started all those episodes ago.
Yeah.
You have ruined.
Yeah.
And I am so ashamed. It's so fun to be here,
back.
and I
Good
love
to-
it.
good
And
to
I
have you
get
back.
tweeted at a lot. People being like, "Can you get back on?" Like we kind of like. I'm so excited when I can. It's so nice
Yeah.
to be here, and it's so fun tweeting ideas and getting news from fans from the
Right?
show, and they're like, "Have you seen this?" And I'm like, "Oh, now I have. Thank
Yeah.
you." It's so fun.
Congrats
it's so
on
great.
Man with a Plan, by the way.
Thank you. It's been a blast.
How's it going so far?
It's going great. We got picked up. We're gonna do a whole season, so I'm on
Awesome.
hiatus right now, and I get to go back in the new year and do a few more
That's
episodes.
So cool, dude.
Congrats.
We're
Congrats,
nominated
man.
for a People's Choice Award, and it's
Dude.
really fun.
Ooh,
Thank
That's
you.
sweet.
so cool.
So yeah, that's on CBS Mondays at 8:30. If you guys want to check it out, it's really fun, and it's been a blast.
That's amazing.
Yeah, and
That's
keep
amazing.
busy, and I read a lot of comic books in my dressing room, and that's
That's the life,
There
man.
you go.
That's kind of
amazing.
the
That's
actual
like-
dream.
That's the goal. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
I sit on a beautiful couch. I'm just like,
And then go out and do the dream.
yeah.
And then come
and
back
I
and
go
read
out.
more.
Yeah, it's just
Oh.
dreams all over.
Dude.
that's the best.
It's really, really fun, and I love it. And I try to watch if I can. I'll try to at least tune into this and get on the chats and stuff. And I'm
Yeah,
able
no,
to
we
do
see
that
it
every
from
now
time to
and
time.
then.
We appreciate that. That's all.
It's so
when
fun.
the Spider-Man trailer broke, and I was like, well, who are we gonna have on? I was like, well, Cook's my first call. Like, hope I hope he's recording, but at the same time, I hope he's not. So
I'm on break. That's great.
great.
Just in time.
Dude, perfect.
Doom also, I really would like to thank you guys. I've been on this show and running the show for like a year now from behind the scenes. I joined this time last year, and it's been I love all of you guys that I see on the panel, even though you can't see me. I'm creepily watching you. But all the fans have been amazing.
It's such a
I
cool.
love this show so much.
It's so
Yeah,
positive.
it's a good show.
So awesome.
I do other internet, not nearly as positive. You
Yeah.
read YouTube comments on a lot of places, and it's dark days ahead.
Yeah.
But, this
you guys
posse
are
is strong.
incredible
important.
fans. You guys are incredible fans, and thank you
Yeah.
for being so supportive and like asking us questions and engaging with us because we love what we do.
Really love that.
Like,
yeah.
Like this is all like this is we don't get paid for this. We do this
It's a
just because
labor
we
of
love
love.
it.
Yeah, we're just
Yeah.
here for you guys.
We're
This
just
is
here for
just
you guys.
so.
But yeah,
Yeah.
Matt Key, thank you for welcoming me into the Marvellites family.
Hey, you're welcome.
Matt
You're welcome.
Cook too, but you were just sort of like
I was
You're on the way out.
I was checked out by then.
Yeah.
No, Key. Well done, bud.
Thanks, man.
This
Thanks.
is your.
Yeah.
You've been running this ship.
I love doing it. It's a fun.
big
it's
deal.
Fun. Like I will end the year with this.
Why?
Air horns, baby.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
Okay. Everyone
Yeah.
watched the Fast 8 trailer, not Marvel.
I'm finally nice to you, and that's how you repay me.
Yep.
With a barely audible, weird
Rap mode motif? What are these choices?
I love the rap air horn. That's my favorite.
Everyone have what?
That I like.
There we go, dude.
Whatever holiday you celebrate, whatever festivity you have, whatever important thing the holidays mean to you, do it, embrace it, and spend as much time with your family as possible because you never know when it's the last time. So hug them, love them, appreciate them, and have a sweet Christmas, etc.
And Thor bless us, everyone.
Also, it's 2017 soon, I learned today on this show.
All right. He's embracing the air horn. He knows I like it.
Man.
He's so excited.
Next year, all air horns. Like, there's no more like Sweet Christmas or dumb. It's just like.
Oh, I yell the air horn on Disney movie news all the time.
Oh, that's so funny.
We're gonna do it here too.
Good. It's so dumb. All right.
Okay.
From all of us to you, thank you so much. Have a great Christmas. Have a great every holiday.
Yeah, have a great holiday.
Great holiday.
Great holidays.
Have a happy New Year. Be a safe New Year, and come back to us next year. We love you guys. Thank you so much.
We'll see you then.
And thanks for being here, guys.
Bye. Thanks, guys.
From producers Maria Menounos, Kevin Undergaro, Phil Svitek, and the entire Popcorn Talk Network, we would like to thank you for tuning in. For questions or comments, be sure to visit popcorntalk.com. I'm Sir Richard Wentworth, and this has been a presentation of the Popcorn Talk Network. The views expressed herein are those of the hosts only and do not necessarily reflect the views of the Popcorn Talk Network or its owners or principals.
All right, hey. All right, good job, guys. Let's just not come in tomorrow. Let's just take a day.